Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Weller and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. But I'm not just going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to talk about the Cookie Monster. No, not at all. No, this is Fortunes of Ravenloft. That is a Curse of Strahd Dungeon Master Guide. There are going to be spoilers in this. If you are a player, this is not the right video for you. And go and watch one of my other videos and come back when you've finished playing the Curse of Strahd or even Ravenloft, because there would be elements to Ravenloft that you'd get information on. So it is time to make your tarokka card deck reading. You're all ready. You've got your deck, you're prepared, and you're going to find most of the information for the tarokka card deck reading is sitting on page 11 through to page 18 of the Curse of Strahd. Now this card reading changes the nature and the way that Curse of Strahd will play out as an adventure. And the rationale behind that is that what you want to do is have a different experience each time you play the Curse of Strahd. To be honest, I don't think that players want to play through the Curse of Strahd more than once. But if you are a dungeon master and you like running the adventure, then it will certainly allow you to change things up and make things a bit more interesting. So, when do you actually perform the card reading for the Curse of Strahd with a tarokka deck? Well, there are a couple of times you can use it, and on occasions, as it happens, you can sort of make adjustments as well. And I recommend that Dungeon Masters do in fact make adjustments to their adventure. So before you start running the adventure, I recommend that you do a card reading, which is exactly what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you a card reading and how to lay everything out and figure it all out. It's all pretty well detailed in the book, but I'm still going to show you. When you first meet Madame Ava, this is the Vastini Seer that you will encounter at some point. You can make a reading there as well, which will change the outcome. So you still do your reading at the beginning before you run the adventure, but you can make another reading if they talk to Madame Ava. Now, if they come across Esmeralda, you can make another reading there. You can change the card readings, so it doesn't have to stay exactly the same. You can also use a regular deck for your card reading. So if you don't have the special cards that they put out for this adventure, then that's fine. You can use a standard card deck, and it does give you some guidelines and instructions and box text on how to do that. I'm not going to cover that. I'm using the real deck for today. So, what does the 5 cards that you draw tell you? Well, there's 5 different things that it's going to give you. And the first one is going to be the location of the Tome of Strahd. This details all the really important information on Strahd. The second location that it's going to give you is the location of the holy symbol of Ravenkind. This is really, it's more like a protection from that dastardly vampire. So it's important to have this particular holy symbol of Ravenkind, and it will give the players a huge advantage. The third item, which is the Sun Sword, the carding I'm reading is going to give you the location of the Sun Sword, and then the fourth card is going to give you who is Strahd's enemy, who is potentially the player's character's ally. Now, this could be Rudolph van Richten, it could be Esmeralda, it just depends on your reading, and this will give you who it is and their location in the adventure when they come across them. To a large extent, mostly like that. Although Rudolph van Richten, really encountering that character, there's really only about 2 different locations you can encounter that character without the Dungeon Master making adjustments. The final reading is going to give you the location of where Strahd is himself throughout the adventure. This basically means that they should be able to figure out where to find Strahd at any given time. If they ever need to go and find him and talk to him, which most players won't want to do, but if they want to, they will be able to do that because they will know where he is. But this card reading is cryptic, so it's not going to give them the exact location. They're going to have to figure this stuff out. Okay, so how do you go about doing your reading? Well, the first thing you're going to need to do is have a look at the diagram in the book on page 11, and it gives you a guide as to where, basically, how to lay it out. It's basically like a diamond, not a diamond, it's more like a cross actually, more like a cross, and you lay it out and it gives you the different locations. So you want to separate the high deck and the common deck. Now, which cards are the high deck cards? Well, as it happens, the high deck cards are supposed to be marked by what looks like a tiny little crown in the top corner or the bottom corner of each card. Now, if you can't see that or don't know what I'm talking about, just turn to page 243 of the Curse of Strahd, and that will provide you with the exact cards. Gives you the name of them and everything, so you don't have to figure it out the hard way, and look for that little tiny crown if you don't want to. Now, the first drawing is going to consist of 3 cards being drawn from the common deck, and they will be for positions 1, 2, and 3. That will give you the locations of the magic or artifacts within the adventure. And then you draw 2 cards from the high deck for positions 4 and 5, and they are going to be covering who is the enemy of Strahd or who is the ally for the player's characters, and where is Strahd actually located within the adventure. Okay, enough's enough. Let's get on with doing this card reading, shall we? We've been mucking around long enough, and I know you're all itching and waiting. So here it is. This is our first job. Our first job consists of dividing the cards. So these are the common cards, and I'm just going to give them a good shuffle, and we'll draw 1 card at a time. And my little diagram sort of shows you which position indicates basically what item or what it's going to be representing. Okay, so it's a bit easier for you to follow as we go. This is the high deck, which is a lot smaller, and we'll give that a bit of a shake and a shuffle as well. There is a game in here as well that you can play. I've never really played the game, but I have used these cards for other adventures and just for twisting things around and making things a little bit more interesting for me. Okay, so the very first card that we have to draw is position 1. Position 1 is for the Tome of Strahd. Now, the Tome of Strahd comes from the common deck, so we just take a card off the top here, and we'll place that down. So I've got the Philanthropist. So once we've got the Philanthropist, we then look on page, now it's going to be pages 11 through to about 12, and you're looking for the Philanthropist, and you're looking for the position of treasures. Once you find the right card, it'll tell you the location for that particular item. And it's a bit of a, oh, here we go. All right, so I found it on page 13. And the Philanthropist, the Tome of Strahd is going to be located. Look to a place where sickness and madness are bred. Where children once cried, the treasure lies still. So this is what you read out in the box text, is what you read out to the player's characters. Now, to give them some sort of reference as to what they're looking for, you would read out the box text for the Tome of Strahd, which is, this card tells of a history, knowledge of the ancient, will help you better understand your enemy. So that's really those 2 pieces of information. What does that tell the Dungeon Master? That tells them that the Tome of Strahd is going to be located in the nursery of the Abbey of St. Markovich. Okay, and it gives you the exact chapter and location, which is always nice. Okay, so that's the first card we've dealt with. Okay, position 2, which is for the holy symbol of Ravenkind. So we'll draw another card from the common deck, and I got the Mercenary. So then we're looking for the Mercenary, and shuffling through our little book here, Mercenaries. It's always hard, you wouldn't think it would be hard to find a Mercenary. Okay, so the Mercenary is on page 12. So we will read out to the player's character, to the players, basically, for the holy symbol of Ravenkind, you just say, This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. So that's going to pretty much give them a good idea that what they're looking for. You know what they're looking for. They may not. Okay? That's all you have to read out to them. As for its location, you're going to read out for the mercenary, the thing you seek lies with the dead, under mountains of gold coins. Okay, so that's going to tell you that it's going to sit in the crypt. It's at Castle Ravenloft, and it gives you the area, and it's Crypt 31 or something like that. So that is our first two cards. We've just got the third card to do, which is going to be covering the Sun Sword. So we draw another card, and I got the Soldier. So I'll read out the section for the Sun Sword. This card of power and strength, it tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. That'll pretty much give them a pretty good idea of what they're looking for. It's not going to be very hard to understand that. Okay, so we now have to find the Soldier. So where is the Sun Sword going to be located? And here we go, it's on page 12. And we just read out to the player's characters. Go to the mountain, climb the white tower guarded by a golden knight or golden knights. Okay, so this then tells us that they have to go to, Tarokka Pass. Yeah, the Tarokka Pass, the guard tower, and it gives you the area. Gosh, I hope I got that pronounced right. Probably didn't. I'm not going to worry about it. It's not worth worrying about half the time. Okay, so those are the first three cards for the location of the artifacts. We now have to do our drawing for 4 and 5. So we start with Strahd's enemy. So we go with the high deck, and we turn over our card, and I got the Innocent. Okay, so for the fourth card, we're going to read out to the player's characters the following. This card sheds light upon one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. So that's the ally. Now, where will they find our ally? So you look under the Innocent. Now, for that area, you have to skip past the treasure locations. You have to go a little bit further. And you're looking under the section where it says Strahd's enemies. That's on page 15. Yep, that's right. And we're looking for... Where is it? The Innocent. Where is the Innocent? Nobody's innocent. Nobody's innocent. I can't find the Innocent. There we go. There it is. Took me a little while, but I did find it. Okay, so it's very, very simple. All you're going to read out to them is Evil's Bride is the one you seek. So Evil's Bride is the one you seek. So this card is referring to Irina Kolana. Kolana. Yeah, it is Kolana. Always find that difficult. So she's actually going to be a character they'll come across pretty quickly. They may actually meet Irina before they actually have to deal with a card reading from Madame Ava. Now, your card reading at the very beginning of your adventure can set up. You don't have to make another reading. You can use that for any of the readings that Madame Ava or Esmeralda make. You don't have to do it all over again. That could be just a bit of a drag. Okay? Okay, the final location is for, and we take it from the high deck, and that's for Strahd's location, which is the Marionette. So you're looking on page 17 now, and we're looking for the Marionette, and we'll read out the section for Strahd. It should be clear then what they're dealing with. And the following is this. Your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. So they'll know that means they're going to be able to go to Strahd with this. Piece of cake, right? So we now need to find the Marionette. And we'll just cycle through. It's not on 15, so here it is. It'll be on 17. It's got to be on 18. There we go, Marionette. Here we go. Look to the great heights. Find the beating heart of the castle. He waits nearby. Okay, so that basically tells you that they have to go to the North Tower Peak, and it gives you the location. It's a particularly nasty location, unfortunately. That particular reading means they're going to be dealing with Strahd, and they may also have to deal with an awful lot of animated halberds, I believe it is, pole arms. So could be a bit rough. So that's how you do your reading. It's pretty simple. It's not terribly difficult. And the reading that you do at the very beginning before you run your campaign would be the reading that you apply for when you're dealing with Madame Ava or Esmeralda, or you can redo it again if you want to and change things as you go. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The only time I would suggest not to do that is if you've got the players have already played through a good portion of the adventure and you have already had them locate one of the items or the ally or even Strahd in some cases. So you don't necessarily want to change things if they supposedly already have one of those items. That could be rather confusing. So if you have any questions or feedback, put that in the comments. I have many videos for Dungeon Masters and players, and I do have a growing video list for the Curse of Strahd if you need help with running Curse of Strahd. Also the Lost Mine of Phandelver. I have a Patreon account, so you can go and support me there, so I keep doing videos like this, and if you do, I will probably find myself doing this full time. I have affiliate links to the book depository on Amazon where you can buy stuff online and I get a small commission. So yes, help out the channel. And share, like and subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos, and I go live a lot. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.